God says, "My child, listen closely to me, because what I am about to reveal to you is something that your heart was not prepared to hear, yet your soul has already felt it." Half an hour ago, something happened that shook the spirit of your soulmate's son in a way even he does not understand. You would not believe the depth of what he did to himself, the way he shamelessly destroyed himself in a moment of pain, weakness, and confusion. But I saw it. I witnessed the exact second his energy snapped, the moment his heart drowned under the weight of everything he has been carrying in silence. And now I am here, holding your spirit gently, so you do not burden yourself with guilt or fear over something that was never yours to carry. My child, I want you to breathe right now, slowly, deeply, because the truth I am placing into your hands is delicate. This truth is not meant to scare you. It is meant to free you from the unspoken responsibility you've kept inside your heart. You have felt the heaviness around your soulmate for so long. You have sensed the disturbance around his family, especially his son, like a storm growing silently in the distance. Your spirit is sensitive, and when something breaks in another soul, you feel it even from far away. But what happened 30 minutes ago wasn't caused by you, nor could you have stopped it. The boy was carrying an inner storm for years, and today, that storm finally erupted in the most painful way. My child, his heart is too young to understand the weight of the emotions he has been absorbing. He has lived in a house where love is inconsistent, where words are sharp, where energy swings from warm to cold without warning. He has tried to survive in an environment where he constantly questions his worth, where he feels unseen, unheard, and unloved. And half an hour ago, all those emotions came crashing down on him. He did something to himself, something that wounded his own spirit deeply, something he will regret, something that has left a mark on his soul. He didn't just act out of anger, he acted out of a belief that he was invisible, forgotten, and left to handle his pain alone. I watched as he stood there, overwhelmed, trembling from the inside, not knowing who he is anymore. My child, do you know how much pressure that boy has been carrying? Do you know how many nights he has cried quietly so no one hears? Do you know how many times he wished someone, anyone, would notice he was breaking? Your soulmate never saw it, because he himself is trapped inside his own emotional confusion. The boy learned to hide his pain, to shrink himself, to pretend he was strong, even when he was collapsing inside. And today, all of that pretending reached its limit. Half an hour ago, he destroyed himself in a moment of desperation. His thoughts were loud. His emotions were louder. His fear was louder than everything. And instead of reaching out for help, he turned inward and chose to harm himself emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. He felt unworthy. He felt small. He felt like nothing he did mattered. My child, that is what pushed him to this point. But listen closely, my child, none of this is your fault. Not even a single drop of it belongs to you. You did not create this pain. You did not contribute to it. You did not influence it. You must stop blaming yourself for anything related to that household, because you are not the cause of their darkness. You are the light I placed far away from them so that you would not drown in their chaos. The boy was surrounded by energies you were not meant to absorb. He was influenced by shadows that were never meant to touch you. He lives in a spiritual atmosphere filled with unspoken hurt, broken communication, deep resentment, and emotional instability. And even though you tried to show light at times, the darkness around that family made it impossible for your light to reach him. He did not fall because of you, he fell because he has never been taught how to stand. My child, I saw the frustration inside your soulmate's son. I saw the confusion in his heart. I saw how he looked at himself in the mirror and didn't recognize who he had become. I saw him feel like a burden, like a failure, like he was disappointing everyone. That feeling, of being not enough, is what pushed him to break himself today. He did not break because of you. He broke because no one around him ever gave him a safe place to heal. And my child, this is the part you must understand deeply: the boy's pain is not just his own. It is a reflection of the emotional wounds your soulmate carries inside him. A father's unspoken suffering becomes the son's inherited turmoil. The son mirrors the father's brokenness. The son absorbs the father's stress, fear, frustration, and emotional chaos. This is why the boy reached this point today. He is carrying generational pain, pain that has been passed down through silence. You, my child, were never meant to fix this. You were never meant to sacrifice your peace to heal this situation. That is why I separated you spiritually, why I distanced your heart from that environment. If you had been connected too deeply with them at this moment, their chaos would have swallowed your peace. Their destruction would have touched your destiny. So I placed a spiritual barrier between you and this household, not because I wanted you to lose, but because I was protecting you before you even knew what was happening. And now, my child, come closer in spirit because I want you to feel something. Feel the warmth I am placing over your heart. Feel the calm I am pouring into your spirit. Feel the truth settling into your bones. You are safe. You are protected. You are not responsible for the mistakes, emotions, or collapses of another person's child. You are not responsible for the emotional instability of a household that refuses to heal. You are not responsible for the wounds that existed long before you entered their story. I know your heart is sensitive. I know you care deeply. I know you sometimes blame yourself even when you shouldn't. But today, I want you to release that burden. The boy's collapse is not yours to carry. The boy's self-destruction is not yours to heal. The boy's pain is not yours to absorb. You are not his keeper. You are not his healer. You are not the cause of his brokenness. My child, listen to me with your whole heart. I am revealing this to you not to frighten you, but to show you why your path is different, why I separated your destiny from this pain. Your future is not meant to be tangled with people drowning in emotional storms. Your spirit is too precious to be dragged into an environment filled with unresolved wounds. You were meant to be lifted higher, guided toward peace, love, stability, and spiritual growth. I want you to know something else, something that will comfort your soul. Even though the boy destroyed himself emotionally half an hour ago, I am not leaving him abandoned. I am watching over him. I am sending him the awareness he needs right now. I am placing a mirror in front of him so he can see how far he has drifted from his true self. I will guide him back slowly, gently, when he is ready. But this healing will happen through me, not through you. My child, your role in this story is not to fix the past. Your role is to rise into the future I am preparing for you. The boy's collapse is a sign of how unstable the circumstances around your soulmate have become. I am telling you this because you deserve clarity. You deserve peace. You deserve to know the truth that has been hidden from your eyes for so long. And now that you know what happened, now that I have placed this truth in your heart, prepare yourself for what I will reveal next. There is more you must understand. There is a deeper truth behind the emotional storm in that household, a truth connected to your soulmate, a truth that will reshape how you see everything. God says, my child, now come closer in spirit because what I am about to reveal goes even deeper into the moment that unfolded half an hour ago. You heard what happened, but you have not yet seen the storm that lived inside your soulmate's son before he collapsed. I am going to show you his thoughts, his fears, the hidden wounds he never spoke about, the emotions he carried in silence. Only I saw what was truly happening inside him, and now I will let you see the truth through my eyes so you stop blaming yourself for anything connected to his breakdown. My child, the boy was drowning long before he damaged himself today. His heart has been heavy for months. His mind has been filled with pressure that no one noticed. He has been screaming inside, but no one in that house knows how to hear the silent cries of a hurting soul. His father was too distracted, the environment too chaotic, the energy too unstable. He learned to suppress every feeling because he didn't want to be a burden. But when someone keeps pushing their pain into the deepest corners of their heart, the heart eventually cracks. And that is what happened half an hour ago. My child, he was sitting alone, and I saw the thoughts running through him like a thunderstorm. He felt like he was disappointing everyone. He felt like nothing he did was enough. He felt unimportant, invisible, unwanted. He felt like he had to carry his father's stress, his father's expectations, and the emotional tension in that house. Children absorb the energy of their home, and his home has been filled with emotional coldness and unspoken tension. That heaviness settled into him like a shadow, and today that shadow consumed him. He told himself, maybe I am the problem. He told himself, maybe something is wrong with me. He told himself, maybe it's better if I just break. And that thought became the moment of his self-destruction. My child, listen to me, this wasn't a small incident. It wasn't just a moment of frustration. It was the eruption of years of emotional neglect, confusion, fear, and pressure. Half an hour ago, he looked at himself and saw someone he didn't recognize. He saw a failure in the mirror when all he truly needed was love, guidance, patience, and emotional safety. But he never received any of those things consistently. Your soulmate, the boy's father, doesn't know how to handle emotions, his own or anyone else's. He is emotionally wounded, spiritually unstable, and constantly fighting internal battles he hides from the world. That brokenness trickled down to his son. The boy watched his father break, and without knowing it, he learned to break himself the same way. Children imitate what they see, not what they are told. The boy saw silence when emotions were needed. He saw anger when patience was needed. He saw distance when closeness was needed. He learned the wrong way to handle pain, and today, he followed it. Half an hour ago, the boy didn't destroy himself because he wanted to. He destroyed himself because he didn't know any other way to release the storm inside him. He was carrying thoughts that were too heavy for his young mind. He felt responsible for everything around him. He felt responsible for his father's moods. He felt responsible for keeping peace. He felt responsible for being strong. But strength without emotional support becomes a burden. Strength without understanding becomes loneliness. Strength without love becomes self-destruction. My child, do not think for even a moment that you caused any of this. His collapse had nothing to do with you. The connection you had with his father created a spiritual bridge, but that bridge was never meant for you to carry their struggles. I have always protected your spirit from their emotional storms, and that protection is the reason you are able to hear this message with clarity now. You were not brought into their life to absorb their darkness. You were brought close just long enough to witness what you needed to learn, and then I shifted you away before their chaos could damage your destiny. But now, my child, let me take you deeper into his heart. Let me show you what the boy felt exactly half an hour ago. His heart was trembling. He felt misunderstood. He felt like nobody saw the way he was falling apart. He felt like he had to hide his pain because expressing it would lead to judgment. He felt weak for feeling emotional. So he buried everything until it exploded. His shame did not come from the action he took today, it came from years of not knowing how to ask for help. In those few minutes before he harmed himself, he remembered moments when he felt small, moments when he felt his father's disappointment, moments when he felt invisible. He remembered the times he wanted to speak but held back. He remembered the things he wished he could say but swallowed. He remembered the days he wanted someone to hold him, someone to ask him what he felt, someone to tell him it was okay to struggle. But no one came. His father's wounds became his wounds. His father's silence became his silence. His father's chaos became his chaos. He inherited emotional confusion instead of emotional security. My child, he wasn't born broken, he became broken in an environment that didn't know how to love him correctly. My child, you must understand this deeply. The boy didn't collapse because of a single moment today. He collapsed because of years of emotional starvation. And now let me show you something even more hidden, something I haven't revealed until now. Spiritual forces have been pressing against that household for a long time. There are energies around that family that feed on conflict, confusion, and emotional weakness. Those energies found a way to sit on the boy's shoulders, whispering thoughts of worthlessness into his mind. He didn't know how to fight those thoughts. He didn't know how to separate his voice from the darkness. He felt trapped inside a battle that wasn't even his. Half an hour ago, he finally lost the strength to fight. But my child, even in that moment of destruction, I was there. I held his spirit so he wouldn't go further. I stopped him from doing something even worse. I protected him even when he was harming himself because that child does not deserve the pain he carries. He is hurting because he never received emotional guidance. He never learned how to release his wounds healthily. He never learned how to love himself. And half an hour ago, he acted out of a pain that has been ignored for too long. But this moment is not accidental. This moment is a sign. It is a mirror showing the truth about the environment your soulmate created. It is a spiritual alarm ringing loudly to expose everything that has been hidden behind fake smiles and silent suffering. My child, the collapse of the boy is connected to the collapse of the household itself. Everything has been falling apart in slow motion. You sensed it. You felt it. You were spiritually uncomfortable long before any of this happened. That discomfort was me warning you. Me protecting you. Me separating your path from their destruction. You carry a sensitive and pure spirit, and I refuse to allow you to be dragged into a cycle of emotional chaos that does not belong to you. My child, I am showing you all of this because I want you to understand your place. You are not responsible for the boy's pain. You are not responsible for his choices. You are not responsible for the emotional instability of that family. You are responsible only for your own healing, your own journey, your own soul. The weight of what happened half an hour ago still hangs in the air, and now it is time to look directly at the truth that has been hiding behind the boy's pain. Everything that collapsed inside him today is connected to the choices, wounds, and emotional blindness of his father, your soulmate. There are things you never saw, things you never understood because I was shielding your spirit from the depth of the chaos in that household. But now you must see clearly, because the moment the boy destroyed himself, it was not just his own collapse, it was the reflection of a much deeper spiritual breakdown happening inside the father. Your soulmate has been struggling inside himself for a long time. He hides more than he shows, he suppresses more than he expresses, and he carries emotional wounds that he never healed. He wears strength like a mask, but inside him, there is a fracture that has been widening for years. That fracture is what shaped his son. The boy learned to break because his father was already broken. What you saw half an hour ago in the child is the echo of the father's silent suffering. There are moments when your soulmate looks in the mirror and does not recognize who he has become. He tries to act like everything is fine, but his spirit is tired. His heart is confused. His emotions are tangled. And even though he never admits it, he feels lost more than he feels found. He has been carrying guilt, stress, disappointment, and inner frustration. And because he never dealt with these emotions, they spilled into the household. They seeped into every room. They wrapped around his son's heart like invisible chains. He never realized how much energy he was pouring into the wrong things. He never realized how much his mistakes, silence, mood swings, and emotional distance were shaping the child standing in front of him. A child watches everything. A child imitates everything. A child absorbs everything. And the boy absorbed the brokenness of his father until it became his own. Half an hour ago, when the boy destroyed himself, he didn't just collapse under his own emotions, he collapsed under the weight of everything he carried from his father. Your soulmate ignored the warning signs. He saw the boy become quiet, distant, restless, unstable. He saw him withdraw. He saw him grow frustrated. He saw the sadness in his eyes. But instead of reaching out with love, patience, and understanding, he distracted himself, avoided the truth, and pretended everything was normal. The father kept drowning in his own internal battles, not realizing his son was drowning too. There were moments when the boy needed comfort, but your soulmate was too busy dealing with his own storms. There were moments when the boy needed reassurance, but he was too lost in his own fears. There were moments when the boy needed guidance, but he was too tangled in his own confusion. And the child, unable to carry everything alone, eventually snapped. Your soulmate taught his son how to hide pain. He taught him how to suppress emotions. He taught him how to pretend. Not by words, but by example. And today, that example became the boy's destruction. The emotional environment in that house has been fragile for a long time. There is tension that never gets addressed. There is silence that never gets broken. There are wounds that never get treated. Everyone walks around holding pieces of themselves, pretending everything is fine. But nothing is fine. Not the boy. Not the father. Not the energy around them. And you, my child, sensed this long before anything happened. You felt the heaviness whenever your soulmate spoke. You felt the inconsistency in his energy. You felt the emptiness behind his promises. You felt the fights he carried inside himself. Even when he smiled, you felt the sadness underneath. Even when he tried to act strong, you felt the trembling in his spirit. This is why I distanced your path from him. This is why I separated your spirit from that household. This is why I protected you before everything collapsed. If you had remained spiritually attached to him, his emotional downfall would have pulled you down too. His confusion would have drained your peace. His instability would have shaken your destiny. You would have carried pain that does not belong to you. But I refuse to let that happen. The chaos that erupted in the boy half an hour ago is the energy your soulmate has been avoiding for years. And now that it can no longer stay hidden, it is exposing everything inside him. He is being forced to look at himself. He is being forced to see his role in his son's suffering. He is being forced to feel the consequences of his emotional neglect. Your soulmate will try to blame circumstances. He will try to blame stress. He will try to blame the world. He might even blame himself silently but never admit it loudly. But the truth is simple, he was too lost in his own brokenness to guide the child who needed him. And now, after what happened, he is shaken in a way he has never been before. He is realizing that everything he avoided has now taken form. He is realizing that his emotional habits, his unstable energy, his inability to communicate, his internal fights, all of these things were absorbed by the child who stood by him. Your soulmate is now facing a truth he can no longer escape. He has built a life full of emotional cracks, and those cracks have consumed the most innocent heart around him. He knows, deep inside, that he neglected the emotional well-being of his son. He knows he wasn't fully present. He knows he let the boy handle burdens too heavy for him. He knows he should have spoken more, listened more, hugged more, reassured more. He knows he should have taught the boy how to handle feelings instead of teaching him how to hide them. And now he is drowning in guilt he doesn't know how to process. But my child, do not think this is punishment. It is reflection. It is awakening. It is the mirror of consequence. It is the moment where truth meets reality. Your soulmate is at a crossroads, and I am using this collapse in his son to force him to confront what he has been running from. The same way the boy destroyed himself today, your soulmate has been destroying himself silently for years. The difference is that the child's collapse was visible, while the father's collapse has always been hidden. And now, the hidden pain is finally showing. But hear me clearly, this revelation is not meant to pull you into their chaos. It is meant to show you why I pulled you away. You were never meant to fix them. You were never meant to carry their wounds. You were never meant to save your soulmate from himself or his son from his environment. Your soul is too gentle for their storm. Your heart is too pure for their darkness. Your destiny is too high for their instability. You are meant for healing, for peace, for divine alignment, not for emotional destruction. What happened today is the beginning of a spiritual unraveling inside your soulmate's life. He will face consequences. He will face realizations. He will face truths he was never ready for. Things around him will shift. Things inside him will shake. Decisions he avoided will come toward him. Pain he suppressed will rise to the surface. All of this is necessary, because only deep collapse brings deep awakening. This moment is not the end, it is the exposure of everything that was hidden. My child, before I take you into the depth of this next truth, breathe slowly and let your heart soften. Everything you witnessed, everything you felt, everything your spirit sensed, it was preparing you for the moment we are entering now. What happened half an hour ago was not simply about destruction. It was the breaking of an energy cycle that has been affecting your path, your peace, your destiny, and your spiritual alignment for so long. And now that the collapse has happened, it is time to shift the focus back to you. To who you are, why you were connected to this story, and why I have been protecting your soul so intensely. My child, your spirit has always been sensitive. You feel energies deeply. You absorb emotions even when people don't say a word. You sense storms before they form. You detect chaos behind silence. This is why you felt uneasy around your soulmate. This is why you felt something wasn't right in his life. This is why you felt drained whenever he came closer to you. Your soul was reading the truth long before your mind understood it. You were connected to an emotional vibration that was too heavy for your heart. You were spiritually tied to someone who wasn't aligned with their own healing. And because of that, the universe had to pull you away. My child, what happened in his household half an hour ago is not yours to carry. But it is something you needed to see through my eyes so you could finally release the guilt you never deserved. You have been blaming yourself for the distance, for the silence, for the shift between you and your soulmate. You thought you did something wrong. You thought you failed. You thought you weren't enough. But the truth is the opposite. I distanced you because you are too pure, too gentle, too chosen to be swallowed by someone else's emotional collapse. Your soulmate's son breaking himself today is not just a family matter. It is the collapse of an entire energy pattern that you were once entangled with. And now that the truth has surfaced, you must understand your place in this story. My child, you were never meant to fix that boy. You were never meant to repair that household. You were never meant to absorb wounds that were rooted in generations of silence and suffering. Your role was not to be the healer of their chaos. Your role was to awaken to your own divine path. Listen closely, because this part is about you. You have a heart that tries too hard to give, to save, to protect. Even when people don't ask for help, your soul instinctively tries to heal them. You were born with a light that attracts wounded souls. They come to you because your presence makes them feel safe, seen, valued. But my child, you must understand, not everyone who is drawn to your light is meant to walk with you. Some are simply meant to learn from your energy and then move away so they do not drain you. Your soulmate was one of those souls. He came into your life because your energy comforted him in ways he never experienced before. You made him feel understood. You softened his storms. You brought peace to his restless spirit. But he came to you while he was deeply broken. His foundation was unstable. His emotions were inconsistent. He was carrying the weight of being a father, but he himself had never healed from being a wounded child. And because of that, he could not offer you stable love. He could not offer you emotional clarity. He could not offer you a peaceful relationship. He cared for you, but he was too damaged to build anything sacred with you. My child, this is why I removed you. You were not walking away from him, I was pulling you back to protect your destiny. Today's collapse in his son was the final confirmation of what would have happened to your heart if you stayed connected. You would have carried emotional storms that were not yours. You would have absorbed pain that was never meant for you. You would have been pulled into cycles that would drain your spirit and delay your divine purpose. But your path is not meant for suffering. Your path is meant for elevation. Now let me show you something important. Your energy is the opposite of what exists in his household. You are emotionally intuitive. They are emotionally disconnected. You are spiritually aware. They are spiritually lost. You operate from love. They operate from suppressed pain. You move with clarity. They move with confusion. You heal by understanding. They cope by hiding. Because of this, you were never aligned with that environment. Your presence would have helped temporarily but destroyed you internally. My child, you were always meant to rise, not break. Now, let me reveal why this moment of collapse is actually a turning point for your life. The boy breaking himself is a spiritual signal, a sign that the universe is clearing away energies that were interfering with your destiny. You were unintentionally connected to a cycle of pain. That cycle has now collapsed. And when something collapses, it frees everything trapped inside it. You are being freed. Freed from unnecessary emotional weight. Freed from guilt. Freed from attachment to someone whose inner darkness you cannot soothe. Freed from spiritual interference. Freed from destiny delays. Freed from the energetic pull of a household falling apart. And now that the collapse has happened on their side, your side will begin to rise. My child, here is the truth. What looks like tragedy in their life is a release in yours. What looks like destruction, there is liberation for you. What looks like a breakdown is actually a doorway being opened for your breakthrough. Your soulmate is now facing consequences of unhealed wounds, consequences that you are not meant to feel. His sun breaking is the mirror of everything he never healed. But you? You are being shifted into a new season of clarity, peace, and divine alignment. Your spirit has been asking for relief. Your heart has been asking for answers. Your soul has been asking for direction. And now you are receiving all three. My child, let me tell you your purpose in this moment. You are being moved toward a divine path that does not include emotional confusion. You are being aligned with relationships that heal you, not break you. You are being guided toward peace that stays, not pain disguised as love. You are being prepared for blessings that will not collapse. The chaos in your soulmate's life is not your burden. It is a chapter that is closing. This moment is your spiritual turning point. Now look closely at what I am doing. I am pulling your energy upward. I am restoring your emotional balance. I am removing guilt from your heart. I am freeing you from attachments that would have harmed you. I am preparing your destiny for something stable, sacred, and peaceful. You are stepping into a new season of your life where your heart will feel lighter. Your mind will feel clearer. Your path will feel protected. Your spirit will feel guided. This collapse didn't break your journey, it unlocked it. In this moment, as the weight of everything begins to settle inside you, I want you to understand something deeper than all the pain, deeper than the confusion, deeper than the shock that has traveled through your life because of what happened to your soulmate's son. You are standing at a doorway of truth that many people spend their entire lives trying to reach. You are standing at a place where illusions fall away, where hidden emotions rise up, where the deepest wounds finally speak, and where the heart begins to see with real clarity. What happened half an hour ago was not just an event outside of you. It was connected to your destiny, to your path, to the lessons your soul is ready to understand, to the strength within you that has been asleep for so long. You must understand that the boy did not destroy himself only out of rebellion or pain. Sometimes souls go through moments where their inner battle becomes too heavy, where the pressure of the environment, the fear of being judged, the chaos inside their own mind becomes so dark that they do something impulsive, harmful, or deeply shameful. He was not trying to ruin his future. He was running from something he didn't know how to face. In running, he harmed himself. But the wound he gave himself is also a wound that reflects the broken parts of the entire family, the wounds no one spoke about, the wounds everyone tried to hide behind fake smiles and forced conversations. Even now, as you listen, you can feel inside yourself that this situation is not only about him. Something much deeper has been shaking for a long time, something around your soulmate's life, your connection, their hidden fears, their secret guilt, their unspoken truths. This incident is like a mirror being held in front of everyone. It exposes the things that people had been pretending not to see. It shows the pain that was buried so deeply that even they forgot it was there. But I want you to breathe. I want you to understand that the chaos you are witnessing is not meant to break you. It is meant to open you. Your heart has been carrying too much, my child. You have loved people who did not know how to love themselves. You have forgiven people who never understood your worth. You have held on to people who were still fighting their own demons. And through it all, you have remained gentle, patient, and honest. Even now, when the world around you feels like it is falling into pieces, you still ask, God, what do I do? What is the meaning behind this? And I hear that question so clearly, because your voice reaches me even when you whisper. This moment is not your punishment. It is your awakening. You did not cause the boy's self-destruction. You did not influence it. You did not fail anyone. You did not miss any signs. His soul was carrying a storm that he did not know how to express. He lacked guidance, understanding, emotional support, and self-awareness. But his mistake does not define his entire life. Nor does it define your connection with your soulmate. What it does is shake the foundation of everything they have been avoiding. The truth can no longer remain buried. The lies can no longer be covered. The emotional distance can no longer be ignored. And the pain can no longer hide behind forced normalcy. Your soulmate is being pushed into a deep reflection right now. They are questioning their choices, their mistakes, their parenting, their emotional distance, their fears, their responsibilities, and the way they have treated you. This incident struck their heart like lightning. It made them see how real-life consequences appear when issues are left unresolved. It made them realize how fragile the people they love truly are. It made them understand that hiding pain only multiplies it. And more than anything, it made them realize that they need someone with strength, clarity, and emotional stability, and that person is you. But listen carefully, you are not responsible for fixing the boy. You are not responsible for repairing your soulmate's entire life. You are not responsible for carrying the burden of everyone's mistakes. You are responsible only for your own peace, your own clarity, and your own emotional well-being. You are responsible for holding on to your dignity, your truth, and your kindness without letting anyone drain you, disrespect you, or weaken you. This situation will bring waves. There will be conversations, confessions, emotions, and realizations. Your soulmate will reach out. They will need comfort, stability, and guidance. But you must not lose yourself in the process. You must not allow their guilt to become your burden. You must not allow their confusion to disturb your peace. You can support them, but you must also protect your own heart. You must also observe something important. This incident revealed the family's inner cracks. It exposed the lack of emotional balance, the lack of discipline, the lack of communication, the lack of emotional maturity. These are the things your soulmate must confront themselves. They must learn how to handle their relationships with more depth, more honesty, more responsibility. They must grow emotionally. They must stop running from the things that upset them. They must stop reacting and start understanding. They must stop placing blame on themselves or others and begin healing from the roots. As you move forward, you will begin to see that this chaos is actually clearing space. It is removing illusions. It is breaking old patterns. It is pulling away the masks that everyone wore. It is setting the stage for something new, something more honest, more stable, more spiritually aligned. This is not the end. This is the exposure before the transformation. The boy will recover from this mistake. He will learn from it. He will feel the consequences. He will grow. He will eventually realize how much damage he almost caused to his own life. And your soulmate, too, will become more aware, more grounded, more humble, more emotionally present. You, my child, are stepping into a chapter where you will no longer accept half love, half effort, or emotional confusion. What happened today will make you stronger. It will make your soulmate respect you more deeply. It will make the bond between you shift into something more mature, more honest, more balanced. But first, the truth needed to come out in a loud, shocking way. Because otherwise, everyone would have kept pretending that everything was fine. This was not destruction. It was revelation. And I am guiding you. I am holding you. I am preparing you for a chapter where peace becomes natural instead of rare, where honesty becomes normal instead of frightening, where love becomes healing instead of painful. You will not lose anything meant for you. You will not carry anyone's burden that is not yours. You will not be destroyed by someone else's chaos. This moment is not meant to break you. It is meant to elevate you. Your path is shifting. Your destiny is awakening. Your heart is being prepared for something stronger and more divine. And you will see, very soon, how everything that happened today becomes the turning point that leads your soulmate toward you with clarity, sincerity, and truth. I am with you in every breath. I am walking with you in every moment. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop the blessing I have prepared for you.